We hear a lot about Machu Picchu, but what is it? Well, it's one of the hill cities that will be built in the Incan Empire, and they typically build these hill cities as a defensive position. Of course, if it's very difficult to invade, it's going to be a great position as a last defense, as a citadel, the term we might use if we were dealing with European art history. Machu Picchu is actually 9,000 feet high on a ridge between two peaks. So it would be incredibly difficult to access, and it's invisible from the valley below. In fact, it's not discovered until 1911. And we believe being the operative word, that this might be the estate of an Incan ruler. The significance of Machu Picchu is actually that it is undisturbed, that the Europeans, the Spanish, etc., hadn't found it until very, very recently, so we could use very modern archaeological techniques to unearth its secrets. And, well, we haven't found that many yet, but we're hoping to. Now, as you look at it, the entire city is, of course, highly terraced. This allows for the maximum use of space. In this case, instead of using it all for agriculture, although some of it more than likely was, they can use it to increase the horizontal space on which to build. We have windows and doors cut for what we believe was astronomical observation, as well as a view of sacred peaks. In Incan society, they perform something called mountain worship, which is not unfamiliar in the non-Western world. After all, even in the Western world, we worship mountains. You will see the worship of, for example, Mount Olympus in Greece, or you will see Mount Meru in Hindu tradition. The idea that the gods live above us, either in the sky or in the mountains, is not uncommon. And at Machu Picchu, we see these depictions, these profile stones, and these are massive stones. If someone stood in front of this, you would see that it's probably 8 feet or so tall, and it matches the profile of the mountain behind it. Probably meaning that there's something sacred about that mountain, or perhaps all mountains. They're difficult to access, and they're the sort of place that you would expect to find gods, close to the sky and far from man. Really works in early sort of mythology. Now, of course, Machu Picchu is highly terraced, as I said, and its purpose is unknown. This could have been a religious precinct. This could have been a mountain village, although it's a little overbuilt for that. And that's where we get into the idea of an Incan ruler being involved, because we see a lot more stonework. And not everything the Incans build is this, really well-built stone. They do use other materials. But when you get into rulers, that's where you tend to get into the longer-lasting materials.